Okay, there are some exciting new features in Google Meets that you guys have available to you. The first of which is going to be breakout rooms, which when you start a Google Meet, you should see these three shapes at the top of your screen for activities. When you click on that, what that's going to do is open up breakout rooms. And when you click on, you can create breakout rooms. And what this does is it creates a number of rooms that you can have, and you can edit your rooms. You can have an individual breakout room for each person. So maybe your entire Google class, you want everybody to have their own individual room for testing purposes. You can have them into small groups. So I'm going to create a group of 4 rooms. And then what I can do with my breakout rooms is if I want to make them random, I can shuffle and assign my people to breakout rooms. I can also go in and say, okay, maybe Miss Nelson and Miss Greenfield are known to not get along. So I need to shuffle that out. I'm going to move Ms. Greenfield into breakout room 2 and put Mr. Johnson into breakout room 1. So we've got our breakout room set. Once you've got your breakout rooms, you will be in the main room. I can hit the save button, and this will prompt everybody that's in my Google Meet with a join button to join their respective breakout room. And so if you guys could join your breakout room so we can show. So what'll happen is as they join, they'll start to leave their main room, and they can always come back to the breakout room. So then if I wanted to join breakout room 2 to see what's going on, I can hit join. I can come over to breakout room number 2. I see I've got Mr. Dibble, Miss Ottoman, Miss Greenfield. I can talk to them about what's going on, what are the projects, what are we working on. When I can leave them to work, I can leave, go back to the main room, and then from the main room, I can go back in and say, okay, I'm going to join breakout room 4 now. So then I can go into breakout room 4. I can talk to the people that are in breakout room 4. I can go in there and see who's in there. So breakout room 3's got some people. So I'm going to go join Mr. Vote in breakout room 3. And here we go. So I've got breakout room 3. I've got Miss Reiner and Mr. Vote is in here. So we can talk to them in these breakout rooms. I can unmute my mic and say, hello, I'm joining you guys into this breakout room. So we've got lots of options with the breakout rooms. When you're done with your breakout rooms, quick and easy, I can hit this end breakout rooms, and this will remove everybody from the breakout room and put everybody back into the main room. So you can go back in and you can talk with your whole group again and say, okay, we no longer have breakout rooms. We brought everybody back to this main room. I can then also say, all right, guys, we're going to come back in. We're talking about what we're going to do. I can add another and say, okay, now we're going to break out into new groups, or we're going to break out into individual groups. And you can continue to create and bring groups back by hitting the end breakouts and create breakout rooms to get everybody going. When you are done, you can clear out your breakout rooms, and that just gives everything so all of your rooms are set. You do have to, for breakout rooms, they do have to be a part of your domain or part of your supported devices for breakout rooms. So if somebody's trying to join with an outside AL Schools breakout room, we will have to look at permissions to get them going, but this really is for students and trying to do breakout rooms, so they should be using their Google School accounts to get into and do the breakout rooms. Last piece that you guys have is the ability to blur your backgrounds. With mine, you have the blur off. This does come with some caveats. It is for your Chromebook use. If you're maybe in a position where you don't want to show your background or anything like that, you can turn the blur on. On a desktop, it works great. You really don't have to worry about anything. But if you're on a Chromebook and you're using the blur feature, you can choose how much you want to blur out. This does use a lot of processing power with your Chromebook. So you cannot present a screen and use blur. It will crash your Google Meet. You have to rejoin. If you have multiple tabs open, it could crash your Google Meet. You'd have to rejoin. So if you're using blur background on a Chromebook, you really want it to be used just when you're having a conversation, virtual face-to-face. Allow some privacy for the student. Maybe they're not comfortable with sharing their background, or they're worried about brother, sister, somebody walking by that they don't want to be a part of the Google Meet. They have the ability to do blur background as well, but we want to make sure that it's not something using with presenting your screen or multiple tabs open, because it can crash the Google Meet and cause them to come back in. So if you find that that's happening on a regular basis, you have to make sure that you turn the blur background off. Thank you for being part of my Google Meet training video. Hope everybody has an awesome day. Have a great day. Thank you. Okay, Google Meets now includes attendance built into your Google Meet. So a couple of things with attendance. You must be the organizer or creator of the event. So if you're in a shared classroom session, only the person who created the meet will get the attendance recap. So if you are in a shared setting, you want to make sure that you are sharing the sheet with whoever your co-presenters are or your co-teachers are for attendance purposes. After you conclude a Google Meet, usually it's about 10 to 15 minutes, you'll get an email from Meetings No Reply Google, and it'll say meeting data from breakouts on October 8th. This is something that will automatically come to you using your attendance feature for your Google Meets. And so this will give you who was in your Google Meet. And this is just by the date and time stamp of your Google Meet. So info from your breakout meeting on October 8th, 1:41 p.m. is now available. So it comes to you as a CSV. So what that means, we click on this to open this up. I can see all of the people that were part of my meeting, but what I can do is open with Google Sheets, and this turns it into a Google Sheet that I would like to keep. If it's not meeting data that you don't need to keep it for anything, you can simply get rid of it. But if this is attendance information, you're definitely going to want to hold on to this so you can show proof of, yes, this person attended, or where the attendance was for this person. So it'll give you what your name will always be at the top. Duration is really the when you started the meeting to when you ended the meeting. And then what you can do is you can see what time somebody joined, what time they exited your meeting, and how long they were part of your meeting. This does capture their AL School email address as well as their name in our system. And so this is something that if you're looking to go forward, working with your building administration or team, or if you're trying to keep track of who's attending your Google Meets, you will now get this report for any Google Meet of who was a part of your Google Meet, how long were they in your Google Meet. So this is great information. I can go up, I can change the date, I can change the dating time of it. For those of you that are military or ex-military like myself, the time that comes through the Google stamp is actually military time. So the 13 is actually 1 o'clock. So this is when it started. So by default, it's saved as 2020 10/8 for today's date. 13:41 is 1:41 is when that would be for my attendance report. Hope this helps with attendance and Google Meet.